Hello students, today is the last chapter of this book Vistas. It is called Memories of Childhood. These are actually autobiographical episodes from the lives of two women. So basically there are two women authors of this chapter. The first woman's name is Zitkala-Sa and the other is called Bama. I will tell you both the stories, but first let's introduce the author, Zitkala-Sa. She was a famous Native American writer and activist born in the year 1876. But what was Zitkala-Sa's struggle? When she was just a young girl in 1884, white missionaries took her away from her mother. Why? They took her to a very strict boarding school to make her civilized, so-called civilized. And Zitkala-Sa wrote about how sad and angry she felt when the school tried to force her to give up her native culture and language. How they forced her to cut her long hair. And this is the first part of the story. The name of it is The Cutting of My Long Hair by Zitkala-Sa. Meet the main characters in this story. First, of course, is the narrator. Her name is Zitkala-Sa, a young Native American girl who loves her culture and wants to live freely. The second character of The Cutting of My Long Hair is Jude Wynn. Okay, Jude Wynn. Jude Wynn is Zitkala-Sa's friend at the boarding school. Although Jude Wynn knows a little bit of English, she warns Zitkala-Sa about the school's bad plans of cutting their hair. And the third main character in the story is the pale-faced woman who is actually a white teacher. She represents the strict and unkind rules of the school. And now talk about the summary of The Cutting of My Long Hair, which took place around the year 1884. The story starts on a very cold winter day. It is Zitkala-Sa's first day at the boarding school. Right away, Zitkala-Sa feels scared because the school is extremely loud and strict. Bells are ringing, shoes are clattering on the floor, and teachers are constantly watching the children. At breakfast, Zitkala-Sa gets very confused by the dining rules. She does not know how to eat with a fork and knife, and she sits down at the wrong time because of the school bell. She feels embarrassed by all this and starts crying. Later, her friend Jude Wynn whispers a terrible secret to Zitkala-Sa. The teachers are going to cut their long, beautiful hair. But you know what? For Zitkala-Sa's tribe, long hair is sacred. Her mother taught her that only cowards who lose in war get their hair cut short. So, Zitkala-Sa refuses to give up. She runs away and hides under a bed in a dark room upstairs. But soon she hears people looking for her. They drag her out, tie her to a chair, and cut her hair while she kicks and cries out in pain. She feels like a helpless animal that has been captured. Even though Zitkala-Sa's hair is cut, her inner spirit is not broken. With this, we're done with part 1 of this chapter, okay? And now come to part 2 of Memories of Childhood. What is the name of this part? Open your book. It is called We Too Are Human Beings. It is written by Bama. Who is Bama? Do you want to know? She is a popular Tamil writer from South India, born in the year 1958. But Bama grew up in a lower caste family. You can say she grew up in a Dalit family and therefore faced unfair treatment called untouchability from a very young age. Bama has written a very famous book called as Karuku in the year 1992, which talks about her real life and how she fought against caste discrimination. And who are the characters of this story? We Too Are Human Beings. First, of course, is the narrator. She is none other than Bama. She is a cheerful and curious girl who studies in the 3rd grade. Then comes Bama's older brother, who is referred to as Annan, A-N-N-A-N, Annan in the chapter. Annan is an intelligent college student who teaches Bama how to fight back using the power of education. The third major character is the elderly man. He's a respected elder of Bama's village but is treated poorly by the rich landlord. So the fourth character is the landlord. He's a powerful, rich man from a higher caste who acts like he's better than everyone else. And now, what is the summary of We Too Are Human Beings? The story takes place around 1966. When Bama was in the 3rd grade, she loved walking home from school. Even though the school was very close, it took her almost an hour to reach home because she stopped to watch all the fun things on the street like monkeys, street games, food stalls, etc. One afternoon, Bama saw a very strange scene near the rich landlord's farm. A respected old man from her village was carrying a packet of snacks by its long string, making sure his fingers did not touch the packet itself. Bama saw this scene and found it extremely funny and laughed all the way back home. At home, Bama told her brother Annan about the funny game. But, being the older one, Annan did not laugh. He sadly explained Bama that this was not a game. Because they belonged to a lower caste, people from the upper caste believe that they are dirty and untouchable. If the old man had touched the food directly, the landlord would have thrown it away. Hearing this, Bama's childhood happiness turned into deep anger and sadness. She felt insulted that her elders were treated like garbage. Annan told her that they cannot change their caste, but they can change their future. He told her, if you study hard and get good marks, people will respect you and become your friends. Bama took this advice to heart, studied day and night, and became the top student in her class. Done with the summary of memories of childhood, now come to question answers. There are only 3 questions. Let me read them out to you with the answer. The 2 accounts that you read above are based on 2 distant cultures. What is the commonality of theme found in both of them? Answer. The common thread running through both the accounts is social marginalization, discrimination, and the struggle for personal dignity. Both stories are autobiographical memories of childhood from women belonging to oppressed communities. First, Zitkala-Sa's struggle. She represents Native Americans facing racial prejudice and cultural assimilation by white colonial authorities. Her long hair, a symbol of sacred identity, is forcibly cut. Second, Bama's struggle. She represents Dalit communities in India facing caste-based discrimination and untouchability. Her community is dehumanized and denied basic human dignity. And the third point that you will write here is resistance. Both the stories show that neither girl quietly accepted her fate. Zitkala-Sa struggled physically against her captors, while Bama used the power of education to break free from caste stereotypes. We're done with question number 1. Now come to question number 2. It may take a long time for oppression to be resisted, but the seeds of rebellion are sowed early in life. Do you agree that injustice in any form cannot escape being noticed even by children? Answer. Yes, I fully agree. Children possess an innate sense of justice and sensitivity. While adults may become accustomed to societal injustices, a child's innocent mind immediately reacts to unfair treatment. First, in Zitkala-Sa's case, as a young child, she immediately perceived the cold, rigid atmosphere of the school as hostile. The forced cutting of her hair felt like a deep personal violation that eventually led her to become a lifelong activist. Second, in Bama's case, she was only in the 3rd grade, yet she felt immediate anger upon understanding the practice of untouchability. Guided by her brother Annan, she channeled this childhood outrage into her studies, sowing the seeds of her future identity as an influential Dalit writer. Lovely. And now come to the last question of the day. Bama's experience is that of a victim of the caste system. What kind of discrimination does Zitkala-Sa's experience depict? What are their responses to their respective situations? Answer. Zitkala-Sa's discrimination depicts racial discrimination, cultural imperialism, and forced assimilation. The white authorities tried to strip away her native heritage, which was symbolized by her long hair and blanket, to force her into Western cultural norms. Their responses were as follows. First, Zitkala-Sa's response. Her response was physical resistance. She rebelled by running away, hiding under a bed, and putting up a fierce struggle when caught. Even though she's physically defeated and her hair is cut, her spirit remained unbroken. Second, Bama's response. Her response is intellectual and constructive. Guided by her brother Annan, she understands that physical retaliation is not the solution. Instead, Bama channels her fury into academic excellence, realizing that education is the ultimate tool to overcome social inequality and demand respect. Loved it. And before I end the video, I should tell you their real names. The real name of Zitkala-Sa is Gertrude Simmons Bonin. She lived from 1876 to 1938. She was a very celebrated Native American writer, editor, translator, musician, and a political activist. She was born on the Yankton Indian Reservation and was taken away from her mother at a young age to be civilized at a missionary boarding school. The name of this school is Carlisle Indian Industrial School. Will you remember? And now come to Bama. What is the real name of Bama? Born Faustina Mary Fatima Rani in the year 1958, Bama is an acclaimed contemporary Tamil Dalit feminist writer and a school teacher. Growing up in a Roman Catholic family in Tamil Nadu, Bama experienced severe caste discrimination and untouchability from a very young age. And she is famous for her path-breaking autobiographical novel Karukku, published in the year 1992. Okay, with this, I'm done with the chapter Memories of Childhood. I hope you loved it. If you did, you will subscribe to my channel, Tell a Tale with Heena. Thank you.